Simulation theory.
Humans can only observe the observable. Makes sense, right?
Simulation.
What we observe is only limited to the five senses, and concepts thereafter are created to further understand and process what we've captured. The only issue is, how do we know what we've captured is all there? The short answer is, we don't. Take a look at this. This is Sims. It's a game where you live a life in a kid-friendly simulation. Sounds simple enough. Programmers program the characters to respond to specific actions, and these avatars are controlled by players controlling their every move. Popular representations of this concept in cinema consists of The Matrix, The Truman Show, Source Code, and Inception. A version of the simulation hypothesis was first theorized as a part of a philosophical argument on the part of René Descartes, and later by Hans Moravec. The philosopher Nick Bostrom developed an expanded argument examining the probability of our reality being a simulation. Recently, in the 21st century, technological tycoons such as Elon Musk support the theory. On the Joe Rogan podcast, Elon Musk said, "If you assume any rate of improvement at all, then games will be indistinguishably from reality, or civilization will end. One of those two things will occur," Musk said. "Therefore, we are most likely in a simulation because we exist." I think most likely this is just about probability. There are many, many simulations, he added. You might as well call them reality, or you can call them multiverse. In an article by Interesting Engineer, a paper by Oxford University philosopher Nick Bostrom addresses an essay called, "Are You Living in a Computer Simulation?" The paper argues that one of the following assumptions are true. 1. The human species is very likely to go extinct before reaching a post-human stage. 2. Any post-human civilization is extremely unlikely to run a significant number of simulations of their evolutionary history. And 3. We are almost certainly living in a computer simulation. In short, the paper argues that we cannot know for sure if any of these are 100% likely to occur without a doubt. However, according to the paper, the third option is probably the most probable outcome. Although it's very easy to say how truly insane these are, the fact of the matter is that no one can support nor refute the idea. However, different quote-unquote glitches in reality have brought to light common things about our lives that don't necessarily seem to add up. According to Vulture.com, there are a few quote-unquote irrefutable reasons why we are living in a computer simulation, although some of these may seem a little far-fetched, ranging from the absence of aliens or the wacky recent events in history. Some concepts do raise questions. For example, the Mandela effect, Yanny versus Laurel, or what color do you see this dress? Finally, some physics concepts of the universe have no rules. The most compelling reason, however, is arguably the fact that we can make simulations now, and who's to say we won't be good enough in a few years to recreate a reality similar to our own reality today? This gives the movie Inception a second thought after all. Interestingly enough, the concept of simulation theory has bigger implications to society than we initially realized. According to The Simulation Hypothesis by author Rizwan Virk, an MIT grad and video game developer, many of the world's religious traditions tell us that the world around us is an illusion created for our own benefit, according to him. He also said, the metaphor of multiple lives entered the video game world well after the Eastern doctrines of reincarnation and its concepts of multiple lives. It's not clear whether the original moniker of multiple lives in a video game had any connection with multiple lives in Eastern spiritual traditions. Very interesting, Rizwan. This shows that religion has been around for centuries and has values relating back to the idea of an idealized human society made for our pleasure and controlling, preferably in a simulation. Another supporting factor is the idea of computationalism. As stated by the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy, could a machine think? Could the mind itself be a thinking machine? The computer revolution transformed discussion of these questions, offering our best prospects, yet for machines that have emulated reasoning, decision-making, problem-solving, perception, linguistic comprehension, and other mental processes. Advances in computing raise the prospect that the mind itself is a computational system, a position known as the computational theory of the mind, or CTM. In short, the mind thinks, the mind computes, all of this can be programmed. In AI today, this is an extremely plausible idea. Computers gaining the ability to think and prove that the human brain is similar makes a big connection between the mind and the computer, showing shocking similarities, and I highly recommend checking out this article. Let's talk about dreaming. There is no explanation for dreaming whatsoever. Scientists simply do not know what the heck is going on. What we do know is that dreaming is often explained as the subconscious mind filing events, memories, thoughts, and feelings, often resulting in the mental cinema we all experience every night. Simulation theory applies to dreaming, as the hypothesis included the concept that dreams are another sect of simulation from our minds. According to Science Direct, the threat simulation theory of dreaming, or TST, states that dream consciousness is essentially an ancient biological defense mechanism, evolutionarily selected for its capacity to repeatedly simulate threatening events. Threat simulation during dreaming rehearses the cognitive mechanisms required for efficient threat perception and threat avoidance, leading to increased probability of reproductive success during human evolution. Meaning that dreams are simulations of threatening events to prevent and prepare for the possibility of it happening. It's a defense mechanism, and who knows, maybe it's an update or a code being uploaded to further upgrade our avatars. As you can see, simulation theory could potentially be all around us. Maybe we've been living in it this entire time, or maybe it is something to be created later. But all in all, there's no way to truly know if we are living in a simulation. The only thing we can hope for is survival.